Welcome to the Undrafted Uncensored cast of pod. Hosted by Nick Archuleta. Mosted by Colin Zanger. And last but certainly is least, Joseph Goodwin.
Welcome everyone to the Undrafted Uncensored, a little Saturday afternoon delight, where I don't know about you guys, but I love when Steve Kerr talks trash and turns the Joker on.
I just can't stop thinking of that scene from Anchorman now that you said afternoon delight. What is love like, Ron? Well, I'm gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight.
Milk was a terrible decision.
Milk was a bad choice.
Just like Steve Kerr talking trash, it was not good.
It's not
All I
smart.
thought it was like in The Simpsons when Smithers turns his computer on, and Mr. Burns, "Hello, Smithers. You're quite good at turning me on." That was all I thought when Joker was looking at him talking trash. I was like, "You're in for it now, homie."
You play dumb games, you win dumb prizes. You know what they say. I also loved the tweet that Dwight Howard put out of like, well, Joker's not going to make that shot on Superman, but good shot. And I'm thinking, like, that's stupid from, like, whatever standpoint you're coming from. Like,
Yeah.
in a basketball standpoint, no, you're stupid. Even from, like, a nerd standpoint, Superman cannot handle the Joker. That's been proven multiple times.
I just want you guys to know, speaking of winning dumb prizes, so
Yeah.
I think y'all remember my company party last year.
Yeah.
Let's just say that things started off well for Colin this year.
Oh, nice. Did you get a Nintendo Switch?
Oh, I want to switch. I just got to let you know that the Prophet has officially started the year off right once again.
Good.
Oh, dude, you're gonna love that thing.
So, you know, when you talk about winning prizes,
Yeah.
it is all begun now.
I
mean,
wouldn't
we
call
know-
that a dumb prize, though.
We
No,
know,
that's
we
not a
know.
dumb
No,
prize.
no, not
Yeah.
a dumb prize at all. But we all know. I
That
mean,
must
you
have
all
been
know
very
how
smart
dumb
game.
it's going to get this year now that I won that. You know, it's just gonna
So was it
unbearable.
like a raffle, or like did you have to like beat somebody at cards, or like how did you get these things?
No, so
Isn't
like
it?
last year I won the TV and the 2 trips. They had a few different prizes at this one. But yeah, so you put your raffle tickets into different things, and I put one in the Nintendo Switch, and I won it.
Hell yeah, that's awesome,
I
buddy.
kind of wonder about these things that you're winning at work because it's starting to sound a little one-sided.
Yeah, you're gonna turn Nick's department onto a whole new.
Yeah, a whole new investigation. Hey, I've done nothing wrong. My hands are clean. I just win. They're full of prizes. My hands are full of prizes. They're not full of like red tape or anything. So I'm good.
Denver police makes massive drug or burglary bust thanks to extremely important tip from Commerce City Detective Nick Archuleta.
Yep.
Oh,
So
man.
it started the year off winning, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, technically the first picks of this season were in 2023. So just get ready for the winning to continue on when we get there.
I don't know. Your parlay looked pretty good the other night.
Yeah, and I had a few parlays. You saw that 6. I hit 3 in a row. Bang, 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 and then good night.
Bang. That was a good one. Yeah. Did I tell you guys about the only bet I've made since I made the real money off of the 250 bonus?
No.
I put $50 on Cleveland to go to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
That's not a good-
I'll win
Okay.
like I think it's like 800 or 1,000. I forget exactly what I win if it happens, but I'm like, you know what? I just wanted something with really long odds too that actually seemed kind of like possible, and I'm like, everyone kind of seems down right now. Like I wouldn't want to play Joe Flacco in the Browns.
It's just to
Amari
make
Cooper breaking records.
just to make it to the Super Bowl.
Just to make it, yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
To
Well,
win
dude,
was a lot more.
bet.
But them actually beating like the Niners or the Niners
Yeah, I was gonna say Eagles are down, Cowboys. You just never know what's gonna happen with them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I trust the Lions more. So yeah, so if they beat the Niners or the Lions,
all you got to do is wait for the Niners to start getting injured, and they already are. McCaffrey got hurt last week. I mean, he's not out injured, but
yeah. And he was the reserve quarterback.
Yeah, right. Watch out.
Yeah. Look at America. Here comes Christian Mack. Oh man. Well, speaking of stupid games and stupid prizes, and then there was only one game left for the Denver Broncos.
It's almost over.
It was against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Thank God.
And I don't know. The Raiders are favored, but I don't trust either team really.
No, definitely not.
And
this is a perfect game for me because I've kind of been in the middle of both of you guys. Whereas, I'd like to win some games, but draft picks definitely matter. So kind of no matter what the outcome is, I'm happy. Either we get to beat the Raiders, fuck the Raiders, or we get a better draft pick than the Raiders. Haha, fuck the Raiders. You fell for our trap. So I'm cool with it either way. I'm almost a little concerned if Jarrett Stidham looks decent at all, because then people are going to be like, oh, that's the guy for next year. They don't even need to, draft anybody. And I just don't want to hear stupid shit like that. He may end up being the, first couple of weeks starter because you have a rookie to groom. But if that's the best you've got next year, I'm livid.
Well, I mean, honestly, he might be the best option money-wise and play-wise for the Broncos and for their future. I know we went into this on the show the other day, but he just might be that best choice that they have because he's been in Sean Payton's system, obviously, for a whole season, understands it. And Sean Payton, depending on how this game goes, with the Raiders, whose defense has been playing a whole hell of a lot better, especially since getting rid of McDouchebag. They've been a better team. So Stidham, if he looks somewhat competent, I don't think Broncos country is going to say, oh my God, Stidham's the future. If he has one good game, this isn't the
Broncos country loves backup quarterbacks.
This isn't the Drew Lock. Oh my God, 5 good games at the end of the season. He's the future type of moment. We're still playing a Raiders team that doesn't have that great of a record, although they are playing, like I said, much better at the end of the season. They're not great, so I don't think anyone will look at it and say that's the future. But I think if they understand that Stidham is a backup quarterback and that's where he should be if he's thrust into the starting role, we get the idea of where the Broncos are going for their future, because it's not next year. They're looking for 2 years from now. And once again, this is starting next season. So there's still so much that is going to happen in between now and then. And I'm sure there might be competition brought in for Stidham in the offseason if he is one of those guys, if the Broncos don't bring in Kirk Cousins.
Anybody at all.
Yeah, they'll bring in
competition.
They'll bring in someone for competition. Stidham will win the job because he's been in the system, knows it, and Sean Payton trusts him more. And then we can look forward to a very down 2024 season where the Broncos are really playing for 2025 in draft picks and the opportunity to get a premier quarterback.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
If they don't do it this year.
If they don't do it this year.
I think they're going to do something. But
that's what I'm saying. If
to build that team out, I feel like that's going to be really rough sell. That's going to be a tough sell. That's going to make everyone unhappy. That could end up costing Sean Payton his job, because if the team starts to unravel and you start to see, arguments on the sidelines and more of that kind of the end of Nathaniel Hackett's tenure kind of shit, almost that Urban Meyer-esque kind of stuff. They might think, you know what, we want to move on with somebody that we actually like as a person. And if it gets that bad, so I feel like just because of that, he's going to want to try to turn it around at least a little bit more next year and at least kind of be in that high, 500 to a little bit above range and competing for a playoff spot towards the end of the season, even if it's kind of like how the Texans are, where it's like they're more of a young team looking for the future but look what they were able to do. I think that's kind of going to be what he's going for, because another terrible year next year, barring like a bunch of injuries and a bunch of shit to where it's like, okay, cool, now we kind of don't have another choice, so fuck it, here we go, one more year. That's going to be, everyone's going to be upset, and then might cost him his job. Like I said, I guess I don't have a good way to end it except just reiterating it. But
well, I mean, I will say in New Orleans, his first year there, he had a winning record going 10-6, and then it is kind of a big drop off. The next year, he lost 3 more games and went 7-9, and then that was what kind of started that upward trend. He went 7-9, 8-8, 13-3.
Yeah.
So it is possible to see that drop off in one year to another while he's trying to get his quarterback. I think if the Broncos go into next training camp and there's a quarterback competition involving Stidham, like he is literally telling us that we're not playing for 2024, we're playing for 2025. Like that's my wholehearted belief. If there's some sort of competition when Stidham is involved, it means the Broncos haven't brought in Sean Payton's guy. Or he never got his guy in the offseason.
Yeah, somehow the draft got fucked up. And because I feel like a competition that involves Stidham with a draft pick, then that's just them pushing the draft pick. And then if Stidham wins it, cool, whatever. He's only going to win it for a certain amount of time anyway, just because he's been in the league longer. So that I'm okay with. But yeah, any kind of real quarterback competition that involves Jarrett Stidham sounds terrifying and sad, and just, that's, to quote Emmanuel Sanders, that's a world of suck.
But you got to see the big picture if that is the case. And we have to realize as Broncos fans, if that is the big picture, you know that he knows that Stidham isn't the future. But it's playing that long game. And yeah, it'll suck for a season, but I think that in the end it'll be okay because Sean Payton is playing the game to get his guy at quarterback. Like I said, it won't be fun. It won't be fun at all.
What or was like you have to have at least a contingency plan. You can't just keep doing this wait for a better draft pick bullshit either. You've got to have your plan A, your plan B, your plan C. You can't just be like, well, next year there's these quarterbacks coming out. Well, next year these quarterbacks coming out. You're already going to be, unless you keep Russ, you're already going to be eating salary cap money.
Well, that's kind of the reason why it's got to be draft picks. The free agent quarterbacks coming through are not great, and the ones that are going to, are good are going to command a higher salary. So it's a tough pill to swallow for the Broncos, because what are they going to do? Are they going to pay Kirk Cousins $40 million this year?
No.
And have no other money for anyone else?
And again, that's something they have to look at too and evaluate. If you get rid of Russ, that's $80 million against the cap already.
Mm-hmm. But that's over 2 years.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm just saying though, that's 80 against the cap already. And if you're trying to rebuild, I understand you're going to try and get a lot of draft picks, and I get that. But at the same time, you can't just rely on draft picks. You're going to have to go out and you're going to have to sign some veterans too, because you can't have a super young team and try and roll out and win games. Obviously, again, you're trying to get better draft picks, but Broncos country is impatient. They don't give two shits. They unless you tell them what's going on, and we've all seen Sean Payton will not tell you anything. Wait, what was the sun like today? Was it warm or was it cold? Next question. The sun was out. Next question. I mean, that's what you're gonna get, and
I will neither confirm nor deny the existence of a sun.
He is not designed for a Denver type media. I can't imagine what he would be doing in LA right now if he would have gotten the Chargers job. Or in New York.
They wouldn't care. They're very different towards football than they are. Like, nobody cares about football in LA. If he was in New York,
he'd be eaten alive. New York, Boston. I mean, those markets would just eat him alive. Which is probably why he's been in these middle markets, is he can get away with lack of personality, I guess.
Yeah, and you know what I can guarantee, I can confirm, is that there was a
Can
Raiders.
confirm.
It was a Raiders logo painted on the Broncos field, training field this week.
Yeah, he's been doing it.
I
Was
know.
there
No, I
really,
know.
though?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I hate that. Like,
Every time they have a road game.
I'm okay with it, like, to an extent, but I don't want to ever see that fucking Raiders symbol anywhere near Dove Valley. That
Too late.
kind of
It
does
happened.
bother me.
Pat Bowlen just rolled over in his grave, dude.
Yeah, like that's gross.
Uh,
I want to go pee on it.
All right, Calvin.
Yeah, no, I will sneak in there and pee on the Raiders logo at Dove
Well,
Valley.
Nick and Colin on Undrafted Uncensored.
there used to be 3 of you guys. We don't talk about him anymore.
He'll be out in 3 to 6 months.
Live from Dove Valley.
Yeah.
Colin and Nick. In memoriam.
Is Joe dead? No, but yes.
So are the Broncos going to win this game?
I mean,
Are they or how are they?
I think both. Like, right?
I mean, to answer the how question, slowly, boringly, methodically, with field goals and maybe some turnovers and a lot of running the football and just kind of looking vanilla.
Same way we do every night, Pinky.
This actually might be my no touchdown game pick. This might be a good no touchdown game pick.
No, I can't see. I can't see the Raiders not scoring a touchdown in this defense still.
Oh yeah, Devontae Adams.
Dude, Patrick Surtain has crushed Devontae Adams.
That's true, but he'll still probably end up being able to
on
get
him.
like a goal line touchdown or something crazy.
We've already learned
put
put
it past
him in
him.
the slot. PS2 is not going to cover him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Man, I don't know. I feel like it. You said it. This is just going to be probably one of the worst ways to end the season. Whether win or loss, it's just going to be a game that is unbearable because of both defenses. Granted, the Broncos defense hasn't played as good as it was during that 5-game stretch, but they're still, above average.
Yeah.
And then you're talking Aiden O'Connell against Jarrett Stidham. Maybe Josh Jacobs plays or not. We'll see what incentives he has. If Josh Jacobs has some incentive to hit before the end of the season, I'm just ready. He'll go off for like 250 and 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, be concerned.
Well, then you got Max Crosby out there too.
Yeah, Crosby's been
been a beast this year too. Even under McDaniels, he's been unnecessarily good.
Unnecessarily good. The dude's a monster. Like ever since Hard Knocks, man. Like you could see the beast in him just during that. Like, so the fact that he's continued to he's the epitome of a Raider. Like he got the Raider symbol tattooed on him. Like the epitome of just that grinder, but still loves the spotlight and doesn't seem afraid to do a little bit of shady stuff.
And it was probably a prison too. It was probably he probably went to a prison and said, "Hey, I want the Raiders logo," just to make sure he was Raider enough.
Get it authentic.
Yeah.
Authenticated.
God, instead of like the Jostens or not Jostens, what's its name? Authenticators. It's got prison number ID.
Yeah.
On it, authenticator ID.
Yeah.
Folsom County or whatever. I don't know which. I can't. St. Quentin. St. Quentin isn't that the one in? Yeah, St. Quentin.
Yeah, I don't know. Orange County maybe is where I don't know what county.
Yes.
San Quentin is in San Quentin County.
But that's like the that's a big prison in LA.
Yeah, I know it is, but I don't know what county it's in.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Sometimes you travel to get the authentic stuff,
Yeah. Yeah, he went to Chicago to get the Cook County,
I'll travel out to Commerce City to get Dion's. Not invite Nick.
Good.
And not invite Nick.
It's not that good.
Oh, it's still dude. The Greek dressing on top of your sub and the green chili ranch with the oh man, it's phenomenal.
It's not that good.
It is.
Oh, dude, I live 5 minutes from it, and I'll order Pizza Hut before I get Dion's.
Well, I'm not talking about their pizza. I'm talking about their subs.
I don't know. Their bread is good. I don't know. I've had a hit and miss with their subs because sometimes their bread's a little stiff.
That's what she
I
said.
don't like that.
Kind of like you were for 15 seconds last weekend.
Longest
Like
15
your
seconds.
mother makes me, Trebek.
Hey, now you got me almost over 600 again. So well,
I just, oh man,
the Avalanche game the other night helped me out too. So
Yeah.
Miko getting that last point,
yeah,
man.
I'm like Miko to Kale to McKinnon. Come on, get in there. Come on, get in there. Oh, thank
Back to Miko.
I don't know for a shot though. Like I was watching the game, I never heard him get credited for that fourth shot, and I thought I lost.
It might have been too quick. Sometimes the announcer isn't totally sure who did the last everything because it's so quick, and so they'll just kind of wait till later.
Damn it, Mosier, you're my spirit animal. You're supposed to do me right.
Damn it, Moj. I'm just mad because on my way home from work the other night, Kosmitsky literally said, and it looks like the Nuggets won't be able to win. Down 18 in the fourth quarter with about 6 minutes left against the Warriors. And so I went inside, took a poop, did some shit, pulled it up on ESPN, and it said tied with like a few seconds. And I'm like, what? And it was too late to pull it up on TNT. So I went to the Gamecast, and it said final, win by 3. And I'm like, what? So I'm scrolling. Because, of course, it puts the last play at the fucking very bottom. And finally, it says Jokic, 38, 48-footer or some shit like that for 3. And I'm like,
yeah.
But, yeah, I totally missed all of it, and I'm upset.
I blame Jason Kosmitsky, dude.
That's just the reverse juju. We all know the reverse juju. You just lay it out there, and
that's why announcers never say whether the game is over until it's actually totally over, because you just don't know. Shit, especially in basketball. But it's not actually that bad. But I was like, damn it, come on! I could have seen that. I could have waited to poop.
I was I was tweeting. I think I told you guys this. I was tweeting back and forth with Moj during one of the games when he was saying how like I can't remember the goaltender, but he's been a brick wall and nothing is gonna get by him tonight. And then all of a sudden the floodgates open. I sent him a tweet. It was like, oh, I see the reverse jinx in action right there. And he's like, and then he said, let's hope it works. And then bam, like 3 straight goals for the Avs in the victory.
Nice. I love Moj.
Yeah, so it was, the Broncos. Maybe that's, like I said, that's why we pick against the Broncos is, or I do. I've been trying to reverse jinx them the whole time. I don't believe they can get 3 turnovers in this game. I don't believe the offense can score touchdowns or stop Josh Jacobs. I don't believe Surtain will stop Devontae Adams.
They can score field goals, though.
Yeah, no, that only worked for me when I was picking against them. And you actually started picking them, and I was the only one picking against them. And they still won right up until, they didn't.
No, I think the only one I chose them on was KC.
Yeah, but no, you chose. Yeah, you chose them to beat KC?
Yeah.
I think you chose them to beat somebody else, too, like Minnesota maybe, or one of those other ones. I could be wrong, but I was pretty sure.
There was another one where there's like we just all had a weird feeling where we're like,
yeah, and then I was secretly still, or maybe I told you guys and it wasn't secretly, but I still was picking against the Broncos. Maybe it was Cleveland. It might have been Cleveland, because that was those were the 2 teams that were like, pretty good. Or Buffalo, had Josh Allen. Anyway, but yeah, this game just I kind of just want it to be over. Like I'm happy. I'm excited to watch it just to see one more game of the season and get to see the Broncos under Sean Payton and this kind of team get to do some stuff. But like it's because I also enjoy a lot of the backup players that we have. Like I want to see Lil Jordan Humphrey do anything because that touchdown catch was fucking phenomenal. I'm not gonna bet money on it again this week or anything, but
Well, Sutton's back this week, so.
Yeah, so he's going to play that role. He's going to play the Lil Jordan Humphrey role.
Yeah.
Not that Lil Jordan was playing the Sutton role. No, it's the opposite. Sutton's playing the Lil Jordan role.
And the Broncos got 3 starters sent to the Pro Bowl. I was
That's
gonna say
right.
Hawaii, but it's
Yeah,
not. I
I'm
mean,
kind of shocked by the third one. We can go over them, I assume.
yeah, let's go for it. I mean, you had Justin Simmons,
Yep,
Well deserved.
PS2,
we knew that
and
was coming.
Marvin Mims.
Yeah, what? There wasn't a better kick returner than Marvin Mims. Like I know he ran one, he had some good returns, but like, damn, that was
He has the highest average, and you were right, Nick or Joe. I did pick Denver against Minnesota.
okay.
Nice cash.
It was that one. I knew there was one of them because I remember it. I was like, I'm the only one picking it against the Broncos.
But Mims has like the highest return average amongst rookies, I want to say, and one of the best in the NFL.
Sick. Okay, good for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's good representation. Shows you that the Broncos defense at least is getting to where it needs to be. You know, you got 2 starters off the defense. Quinn Miners is a backup. So I mean, as much as we dog the offensive line, Quinn Miners has been pretty much gold this year.
Yeah, and Garrett Bowles too. That was one of the. He was actually the guy pictured on the ESPN article of Pro Bowl snubs.
Yeah.
They put Garrett Bowles pictured up there. Not Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not there's probably other guys, but yeah, they put Garrett Bowles. Like,
can you imagine 3 years ago if I would have said Garrett Bowles is going to be a snub for the Pro Bowl?
I would have asked who he's playing for.
yeah, I would have asked.
It's a good question.
So did every other tackle get hurt? Literally everyone. But yeah, I think it's cool to see for sure because the Broncos defense has kind of felt like a defense of no names, except for those 2 guys. So it's good to see those 2 guys get the recognition, and hopefully they'll get more in the future, or just
that could
continue on with that.
Bring some of that talent in too. Is you got those 2 guys out there who, we've all had that teammate that you're like, dude, I love playing with you because you're such a stud, and I can come out here and I know no matter how much if I screw up, you're gonna help save me anyway. You have that one. I had middle infielders all the time where I knew if my throw wasn't down to second or it was in the range at least, damn, he was gonna make me look good.
Yeah, pick it and pop.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good.
Yeah, baseball.
Quinn Miners, being a backup might convince some guys to consider Denver. I mean, you'd rather have more of your line on a Pro Bowl team, but if you can get one guy as a snub and one guy as a backup, it's a good start for the team.
I mean, unfortunately, the Pro Bowl is a lot different than it used to be.
Yeah.
In the aspect of like these guys aren't going to Hawaii and hanging out with each other. I remember hearing stories of guys going to Hawaii and hanging out and learning and talking to these guys and learning the tips and tricks and all the different things that these guys are doing and being really able to pick the brains of the other, Pro Bowl players.
Yeah,
and so
like an annual clinic of the best of the NFL.
Yeah, and while it's different, he'll still get the opportunity to do that to some extent. Although, we can probably count off, what the 49ers had 9 guys or 8 guys selected.
Yeah, something like that.
It's ridiculous.
We can probably count off about half of these guys not showing up anymore to the Pro Bowl to do that. And either way, I still hope that Miners can be able to pick the brains of the other guys there and improve upon that. That's probably one of the things that I would look forward to most is that if Bowles gets selected, or he'll move into a spot. I'm sure Bowles will move into a spot for the Pro Bowl at some point. But that they'll be able to get some experience with these other guys that'll improve their game heading forward. Justin Simmons is now one of those guys giving advice to the younger generation, to the other guys that are there. It really is a good opportunity for these guys, and hopefully they can use it right. There are definitely guys who don't use these chances right, but I think that the Broncos, seeing where they're at, should really expect to do that. I think Sean Payton will probably talk to the guys going to the Pro Bowl and say, hey, as a coach, that's one thing that you should do is prepare you guys for this. Hey, Like, yeah, this isn't a party. Like, you're allowed to have fun and relax and everything, but try and get something out of this.
Yeah.
You know, don't just sit there and, you know, drink beers by the cabana all day. You're
Clear
not
the
you're
air
not
and-
a you're not a 12-year pro yet.
Yeah. Drink beers and talk football.
Well, clear the air of what our locker room's like too, because from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like that locker room is a very cohesive place right now, you know, amongst really anybody. So if that's fractured, fix that too.
Yeah. Broncos locker room. I just think there's so much uncertainty headed into next year, especially with the rust stuff, that none of these guys feel safe.
They shouldn't.
No, but that's what Peyton's doing to them.
Well, yeah, but you're also, I mean, you're an 8-8 team right now. But you're not a winning team. And so when you're not a winning team and you haven't been part of a winning franchise,
well, you don't know if you're a winning team until Sunday.
Well, yeah, I know, but
it's
you
a
don't know
hollow
if you're
winning
winning.
team,
Yeah, you're still. I mean, you are a participation trophy winning team right now.
It's better than 4-9.
No, it's actively not at this point. Like, because 4-9 gets you a shot at one of those top quarterbacks.
But you're relying on them working out too. I keep
Of
saying
course.
this. I understand where we're going. We want these high draft picks, but at the same time, ask the Cleveland Browns how that worked.
What do you mean? Amazing. They got Myles Garrett. They got fucking who's the corner that they took instead of Chubb.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah.
Who's been phenomenal. At the top of the second round because they had the top second round pick too. They got JOK exactly. Nick Chubb, top of the second round. So no, Cleveland is the reason why that works.
You keep going to the second round. The second round has been fine.
No, but the first round, Myles Garrett. They took Jabril Peppers and then traded him for a bunch of stuff that's worked out great. Obviously, they chose the wrong quarterback, but that's still worked out for them. Doesn't matter. Well, yeah, but still, that's the way to build your team, though. The way that Cleveland did it. Obviously, they were pretty shady about completely tanking and giving everything to Hugh Jackson. But, that's the reason why we say this can work is Cleveland.
Well, and I mean, you mentioned the Cleveland quarterbacks. There's a lot more that goes into it with Cleveland too. I mean, their coaching carousel.
Yeah,
you have Baker Mayfield who had flashes of being really good at times, and then you had
1999 when Cleveland came back. You have Tim Couch.
Oh yeah,
but
that's like 7 different front offices.
Johnny Manziel
that were all terrible.
Baker Mayfield. Those are the quarterbacks that they have relied on with their first round draft pick. Number 1 picks.
Yeah, but they've also built teams around those guys with quality players that they've gotten in those drafts also. So they're just bad at scouting quarterbacks. And the Broncos kind of are too, but like you still need to take those. If you don't take those shots, you can't win. Like if you can't win if you don't play, you got to do it.
I mean, and even going to Joe, you said that it's different front offices, different head coaches. No stability in that where guys felt like, these rookie quarterbacks had to come. If the rookie quarterbacks didn't come in and succeed right away, they were out of a job. Yeah. And here in Denver, there's a big difference where you have a head coach who's, most likely here for at least 5 years.
Hopefully.
So he's going to have his opportunity to grow with that quarterback. And if there isn't the growth, then yeah. But I think that it's more than a 1-year plan with this organization and the coach. It was always if they didn't get it right immediately in Cleveland, that guy was gone. And I'm not saying that they drafted the right quarterbacks. I mean, I am saying that I've always been a Baker Mayfield believer. At least when he was in the pros. I wasn't that much of a believer in college, and then I don't know what's meant for me when he got to the pros. I believed in him for some reason, and he is doing damn well in Tampa this year. But what happened there is they had 1-year leases, and if it wasn't right immediately, they were gone. Where Sean Payton has a much longer leash, and that gives you an opportunity to develop these guys, and you're not so microwave. Yeah, Broncos country, we want them to win right away. But also, if we're showing the improvement and the growth within the season, not like a Jordan Love this year. I mean, I know he's not a rookie, but Jordan Love started off the
Chance to
season
prove himself.
okay, and then he had a really good middle of the season, or like second quarter of the season.
We'll call it middle of the season.
Third quarter of the season, he dropped a little bit, and then to the end of the season, he's been really good. So you've seen some growth, you've seen some hard times, and then you've seen him bounce back. Whereas in Cleveland, they haven't given that opportunity to grow, to fail, and then to grow again. I think that the Broncos will allow Sean Payton in whatever quarterback he takes, whether it be this year or next year, to do that, unless it's a free agent. If it's a free agent that comes in here, you got to win right away.
Yeah, no patience. Absolutely. Yeah. I got no patience because I'm not a doctor. But Broncos country is patient with rookies. Like we've seen that both with Paxton Lynch and with Drew Lock. That their first years, Broncos country was very patient with like Paxton Lynch. It was more, we want to see what this kid has. But
when's he going to play?
But at that time, the team was good enough that they were happy with winning with Trevor, which didn't actually happen, sadly. So they kind of got fucked out of both. And then every time we saw Paxton, he looked terrible. So we kind of stopped getting excited to see him. But with Drew Lock, it was the opposite. It was, why are we playing Joe Flacco when this kid clearly needs reps and needs time to grow? And then the next season, it looked pretty bad. But even then, there was still plenty of Drew Lock apologists and people saying, give him more time, give him another year. So if you have a talented rookie that has somehow endeared himself to the fan base, like they will be patient for that guy and let the team kind of be built around him. And then once you get out from under the Russell Wilson contract stuff, all of a sudden, hopefully you'll have a decent attempt to be contending team. And the lower your draft picks are, the more difficult that's going to be. And the more likely that you end up with Colin's worst case scenario of not drafting a quarterback because fuck it, you didn't get anybody and you're stuck with Stidham and somebody else, Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, insert former backup quarterback here. There's Clayton. There's my guy.
What up, Clayton?
So yeah, man, it definitely is worse to be 9-8 than it is to be 4 whatever. But it used to be 4-12, so be 4-13. But at this point, fuck it. You take the hand you're dealt with. And I'm still okay with beating the Raiders because, like I said, fuck the Raiders.
Hey, this on a note as far as players go, Sean Payton came out and said he's going to try and get the players that are near their bonuses for this season their bonuses in this game.
Cool.
So, I mean, talk about that's kind of the media, people around might not like the way that Sean Payton has handled some things, but also players seeing that he wants them to get those things. If he does, we'll see what happens in this game. But if those things do happen and he actually plays them and gives them the ability to reach their bonuses, that's something that'll get players here because they know that they can sign a contract that might be incentive laden. And Sean Payton will give them the opportunity to reach those incentives. That's actually it's a pretty big deal.
That is a big deal, yeah.
It's a pretty savvy move.
That's a big trend now is, giving guys $5 million to play, but then throwing $7 million worth of incentives out there because, guys are typically pretty proud of being able to play a lot. And so if I can get an extra $7 million on top of my 5, and I know that this guy's going to do everything he can to help me get that, then yeah, I mean, that's going to get a lot of veterans to come in here or even like middle tier guys that can help you win.
Which is huge, being able to get them for less. And for a lot of like lower caliber teams, instead of like the higher money teams. I'm trying to think of better ways, more eloquent ways to say this than I am. But the Broncos have enough money to be able to pay these guys all that and not actually have to care about like, oh, we could save ourselves a few $1 million if this guy doesn't hit that. Like, no, we want them to hit that because it makes more guys want to come here and we've got the money. We can afford to pay these guys, their little bonuses and shit, Walton can pull the shit out of the cash in his wallet, So, I think that actually will help a lot because even though the salary cap issues are going to hamstring the Broncos a whole heck of a lot, being able to incentivize some of those lower tier guys helps you be able to win with a younger team win with a rookie quarterback like the Houston Texans. Look at their pass rush. Jerry Hughes, they have alongside of Will Anderson. Like, they've got some solid, older, quality guys. And I think it can work. And yeah, that's actually pretty much it. Sorry. I was like, gotta clear my throat and finish my thought. No, I finished it. We're good.
I'll hit on Clayton here real quick. Clayton, so drafting a quarterback, it is kind of that I've said personally is that if Sean Payton's guy falls to the Broncos wherever they're at, they go and get him and try and get him ready. But I think that the Broncos will see in the offseason whether or not they bring in a free agent or not to take over the starting job or compete with Stidham for next season, where the Broncos stand. I don't think you just take a quarterback in the first round, just take a quarterback. Because if it's not your guy and it's not the guy you want going forward, then you're wasting that pick. You might as well get some impact player that can help you, for the next few years. But I think Sean Payton has one shot, myself personally, on his drafted quarterback. But that one shot, he will have 2 to 3 years to develop him.
Eminem style.
Do not miss your chance to blow this opportunity. It only comes once in a lifetime.
If you had one shot, I'm glad we're on the same page, Nick.
Oh, I knew when I said it, one shot, Eminem was coming.
100%. That's my favorite joke at Starbucks when somebody orders a solo espresso. Like, so if you had one shot, and then I hit the button.
It would be a blonde espresso shot inside my dirty chai.
Absolutely, me too. But yeah, that's the goal. Like of the lower caliber guys the Broncos could end up getting, I like Michael Penix. Obviously, he's in the fucking national championship. But he's been the guy I liked all along, even though he's a little bit short. Thank you for the beard growth compliment, Mr. Polar Knights. Yeah, like I like something about that kid. Even though he kind of reminds me of like Russell Wilson, which scares me a little bit. I don't know. I want the winner. I want the kid that actually wins. Just because he has a similar body type shouldn't make you not want to draft the guy. But I don't think Nick is too far off with liking Bo Nix either.
I've been praising him for the last couple of years anyway, so we all know where I stand with Bo. And I just like the name Bo.
Go, Bo, go!
Bo knows.
Bo knows.
Bo knows.
Bo knows he's got a Bo nose.
I highly doubt he's going to have the same impact that Mr. Jackson had.
You never know. I mean,
no, I do know. Bo Nix is not going to have a contract to play baseball and football and be the Nike ad spokesman all over. I mean, he probably has a little bit of an in with Nike playing in Oregon, obviously.
Yeah,
but I don't think he's going to be the poster child for Nike heading forward.
You heard it here first, folks. Bo Nix will not be as impactful an NFL player as Bo Jackson.
Yeah, right.
Fucking hottest take you've ever heard in your life.
Hot take, baby. No football games named after Bo Nix.
Probably not.
You could say they nixed that idea. Yeah.
Oh man.
We got to hit these other things, guys. We got a few minutes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, all right, let's go ahead and head on to the Nuggies now. As usual, the only team playing a back-to-back after coming in from California would be the Denver Nuggets because the NBA hates them. And so, I mean, you saw the exhaustion in the Nuggets last night as after halftime, dude, that third quarter was just unnecessarily bad.
Yeah, they let it go. The one thing I will say is that the Orlando Magic are a much better team than they were last year.
Orlando's very good.
They have definitely improved. Mm-hmm. And so for the Nuggets to hang in that game and only lose by 2, while it still sucks and they could have really won it if they didn't have that third quarter, they just it's difficult. I mean, you go from the late game against Golden State and a late emotional buzzer-beating win to having to fly back to Denver to play an Orlando team who's obviously amped up to play the defending champs. It was kind of a recipe for disaster for the Nuggets. And while they still hung in there, it shows how good this team is. Some things are just too difficult to overcome. And that's a great part about the playoffs for the Nuggets is they're not going to have to do that.
Yeah.
When the playoffs come, they don't have to worry about this damn schedule and those things happening.
Yeah.
So
Orlando, they play in the East.
Or Orlando. I mean, unless they somehow find a way to make it to the championship. Don't think that's happening.
Probably not. Like, they're going to be a playoff team. They're one of the best defenses in basketball. But yeah, no, somehow I feel like Boston is going to be just a touch better.
Yeah. I mean, the 76ers got blown out last night too.
Yeah, well, it's going to happen.
But it is I'm still encouraged even with the loss that the Nuggets team showed up how they did. I'm 3/4 encouraged. Third quarter not included.
Yeah. They did make up the ground. I don't know, that last play too, that was just Jamal got a little too into Jamal's head because he felt he needed to win that, I think. And so he did a lot of unnecessary dribbling and juking instead of taking a shot when you had enough time or getting it, around the key or around the horn or something just to get that shot off to just seal the deal. But I mean, it is what it is. You're going to have heartbreakers sometimes. And, after going to bed at 3:00 in the morning or 4:00 in the morning, whenever they got in, and getting up for an evening game that was a 6?
I think did it start at 6 or 7?
7? Yeah, it might have been. No, it was 7 because I was watching Jeopardy.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's like
watching Jeopardy.
How to get my Jeopardy in, dude? Love me some Jeopardy.
Well, yeah, but go
that's
ahead.
Beautiful.
I was gonna say, you see one guy hit the game winner, you kind of want to do it yourself too.
Yeah. It's Joker and Jamal.
Yeah, and you're right. Jamal did get a little too cute with everything at the end, but I have no problem with Jamal having the ball in his hands at the end of the game either. So there are two guys that I don't care about on this team with the opportunity to win the game. It's Jamal and it's Joker. I mean, Joker's number 1, but it's more 1A, 1B. I could care less. I could care less which one.
Yeah, because Jamal's going to get the ball into Joker's hands or somebody else's hands that's wide open, or hit it himself. Like Nick said, sometimes Jamal's a little bit too hard, and he tried to Jamal too much there, and then he ended up just kind of Jamaling all over the place.
All right, we'll go ahead and I mean, we got time still, so I mean, it's it's not that big a deal. It's January.
Huge deal.
Moving on to the Avalanche, we'll head over to the ice real quick. Avs play this afternoon at 2:00.
Matinee.
Midday matinee, that's for sure. Coach Dizzle.
I think it's their last matinee of the season, or they might have one more.
I think it might maybe have one more. I'll have to double check. But first unit's definitely carrying this team. They've won 7 of the last 9. This whole coming from behind thing could probably stop. I would really appreciate that. But I mean, win's a win. I'll take overtime points if I need to, but let's just win these definitively, and let's get off the ice and have a good time, because Georgie's taking some shots he probably shouldn't be taking. Obviously there's still some problems with the defense, and I mean anybody other than that first unit, it's rough going right now.
I mean, this is exactly what we saw last year. The first line carrying the team. And that's what scares me, is that these guys are going to get worn out by the time the playoffs hit. We Avs faithful have to look for the reserves coming in. The help at the trade deadline and what management is going to do, what McFarland, what Sakic, what moves are they going to make? Because it's pretty obvious that you can't win with just that first line. I mean, we saw it 2 years ago in the playoffs when the Avs beat the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, they had McDavid and Draisaitl. And beyond that, they had nothing. And that's really where the Avs sit right now. I want to say it was really good to see Drouin got 2 goals the other night. That was really good to see. You need a little bit more. And once that help comes, I think the Avs will be okay and they'll be a contender again. But right now, with just this top line being the only thing that a team has to stop, they're not a contender at this moment to win. They're good. They're damn good because their top line is damn good. But you need that second, third line, and even to an extent the fourth line to come in and be able to take some of those minutes and even play against the other team's top line. You need your second line or your checking line really to get the top line of the other team out of their rhythm. And the Avs really just have one line that can do that, and they can't play, every single minute of the game. Oh, what is it? 44 minutes, 18 minutes, 36, 52 minutes. I don't know, math.
Yeah, I'm just thinking all the numbers and lost.
54 minutes worth of a game.
4, 8, 16.
Slowly, so I didn't have to do math. So you're on your own.
Yeah, I was told there would be no math.
I tried to do it in my head when we saw how well that worked out. But yes, 54 minutes of a game. You can't have your top line out there the whole time, so you need those other lines, and that's where those depth pieces come in, and where Sakic did such a phenomenal job 2 years ago of adding to the roster for that playoff run. It was getting those right guys in place.
Well, and even though he's not the GM anymore, we all know Super Joe still has very nice. Speaking of Super Joe, Super Joe sweater.
You guys can call me Super Joe if you want.
That didn't last long.
Train of thought. There we go. Oh, there it is. Still has his hand in on some of those moves. The Avs are looking at guys right now, and there's probably a couple of trades out there they're looking to make. They just don't want to pull the trigger too early because you don't want to give up too much for something that might be only a season or two rental.
Yeah.
And some of those Eagles kids have come down from Loveland, and they've looked pretty good since their second times in.
Yeah, but this Avs team, it could be a team that only needs those pieces. Like, if your core stays together and all you need to do is add a piece or two here and there for this core to win a few championships, let's say you have to do that 3 times to win 2 championships, 2 more championships. I think it's well worth it. 2
defensemen and another center.
I'll take 1 more championship.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely need another center. Yes. Yeah. And the defenseman, it's really just kind of a Sam Girard kind of question, honestly.
What does everybody hate with Sammy G?
Because he tries to be too offensive.
No, let's just let Sammy G. That's because he played with Tyson Berry, dude.
Yeah, I know.
That was kind of the thing.
And he's not Tyson Berry.
I know, man. I miss Tyson Berry. That was my dude.
We all miss those. There was just so many awesome quality, depth guys the Avs have had for the past few years that sadly they just haven't been able to replace the production of. We've all had some of our favorites. Neil before Sod.
Yeah.
Call JT Comfort 877 goals now. Yeah. Obviously, EJ,
awesome.
Fucking, yeah. There's just been so many of these guys that, and there's other players they brought in, but it hasn't been the same. It's been kind of diminishing returns. And so we're hoping to kind of kickstart that. Okay, we took a few steps back. Now it's time to take those few steps forward again.
Time to kickstart the heart.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So Monday night is the national championship. Michigan and Washington will be competing for the big silver gold trophy.
The Waste Management Symbol Showdown.
And I mean, obviously, I know we're going to get into this in the victory formation because that's what Colin does.
Winning.
Because that's where we pick games.
Because I think it's going to be a really good game.
What?
The way these two teams played out last weekend. And thank you, Washington, for finishing my parlay for me. I look forward to a good game. I just hope this Harbaugh bullshit isn't going to interfere with the game.
Bullshit.
I mean, it's gonna be Harbaugh at the start of the game. Cameras will be on him. He'll have something to say at halftime, and then after the game, there'll be the questions of whether win or lose. Is Harbaugh? Should I stay or should I go now?
Yeah, are you gonna be in Vegas anytime soon? Other than the Super Bowl when your brother's there?
Yeah, is he gonna be in California also? A little bit further north of his brother, or south of his brother? Excuse me.
Are you gonna ride out of Michigan on your Golden Stallions?
Only if Portnoy's there with him.
I think there's going to be a lot of Harbaugh talk in this, and the only way that it can get stopped is if Michigan's offense is just working on all cylinders. But it's strength on strength here.
It is.
I mean, Michigan's defense, Washington's offense. We'll
fun.
see. I mean, defense wins championships, but man, Washington's offense is something else.
Stellar. I love it. Yeah, I'm excited for that game. It's, I mean, as good as the first two were, I mean, this is destined to be a barn burner, I hope.
Yeah, that's the idea. You know, sadly, it's even though we all hate the NCAA for the way they did everything, and we hate the way they have the rules set up, they gave us 3 really fucking good games. So,
well, 2, hopefully 3.
2, yeah.
We haven't had the third one yet, but we're pretty sure it's gonna be a good one. You know, even if it's a blowout, it'll be kind of funny. Unless Michigan blows them out, that'll be sad.
Yeah.
Unless Michigan's doing the blowing.
And on that note, Colin, proceed.
This is the victory formation.
All right, boys, here we go. Best play in football. 6 right tight diamond victory on 1. Break.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, it's jam.
The Pick'em segment, proving that Colin Zanker is the most humble man in the history of time. Least. Featuring Nick Archuleta, wishing he was somewhere else. And Joe Goodwin, just kind of winging it.
As I cradle my first big win of the year, we hit the victory formation and look for the winning to continue. At least for myself. I don't know if you guys are going to try, but I know I'm going all out this year.
I never try.
We start off with a game where one team seems to not be trying in this game because everything's already locked up, and another who really they've locked up a winning record this year, but can they secure a playoff spot? That is the Pittsburgh Steelers visiting the resting Ravens. Ravens are an underdog at plus 124, and don't forget, you got your Pro Bowler Nick Huntley starting for the Ravens. Nick, is it going to be the Steelers or the Ravens in this game with playoff implications for one team?
Mason Rudolph versus Tyler Huntley.
I don't know. The Steelers have been on the fringe of trying to be good this year. They've just never really figured it out until they got into the hunt. I'm gonna go for the Steelers only because the Ravens really don't care about this game.
Okay, Joe, who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Pittsburgh because they're gonna try. I don't believe Tyler Huntley, the Pro Bowl quarterback with 0 touchdown passes last year, is gonna just turn it on. But then again, you never know. The Ravens are a fun team. They did just get Dalvin Cook. He won't see the field. Yeah, we're taking Pittsburgh.
I mean, you know why Dalvin Cook isn't going to see the field. That's because Melvin Gordon is a Baltimore Raven.
Oh, yeah.
So, obviously, you got to have, Melvin Gordon ahead of Dalvin Cook. I am going – I'm just going to doubt the Steelers so they can win this game and get in and hopefully cause some chaos in this. But I'm going the Ravens. I don't know what's going on with Pittsburgh. I haven't been able to put my thumb on that team all season. And every time I've doubted them, they won. And every time I thought they were going to win, they've lost in bad fashion. So I'm just going to go with the Ravens so that chaos can ensue when the Steelers win.
Chaos?
Next, we have actually a really damn good matchup. The Texans versus the Colts. These are both the Saturday games. Texans, the favorite, but not by much at minus 115 at Indianapolis at minus 105. Joe, who you got?
That's a really tough one. Because it's basically, whoever loses is out pretty much, unless they happen to have a tiebreaker over Jacksonville and Jacksonville loses. Seems unlikely. The Texans have a lot of injuries, even though I feel like they would be the better team normally. Just something about the Colts getting Jonathan Taylor back, getting that offensive line together. They have my favorite quarterback in the NFL. So, of course, we're taking Gardner fucking Minshew. Let's go. The Colts. Thank you.
I'm going with the Texans. CJ Stroud is back. He has another game under his belt. Nico Collins is back. They're going to miss having Tank Dell. But you mentioned that defensive line and Will Anderson. Mr. Anderson is going to be tough for the Colts to run on. And I do like the Colts a lot and a lot of their players. I just don't think they're there yet. So give me the Texans. Nick, who you got?
Same thing, Texans with CJ Stroud coming back. Like you said, with a game under his belt, he knows now. He's got his rhythm back. And I think the Texans are just a little too much.
We move on to the Sunday night football game, the last game of the 2023-24 regular season. It is a huge game as the Bills visit the Dolphins. This is a chance that the Bills are win and get in. If they lose, they're out. They really don't have a shot. The Dolphins already have a spot secured in the playoffs, but they are short some guys and they have an opportunity to play. Spoiler to the Bills. Do the Dolphins spoil the Bills' party? I don't think so. I think the Bills win this one. They've been playing great as of the last few weeks, and it feels like they've turned it around. So give me the Bills. Nick, who you got?
Buffalo. The Dolphins are just a little too – they still seem a little too fake for me. They haven't quite shown that they're that good of a team. They're a good team, but I still don't believe in them, so give me Buffalo.
Joe.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like the Dolphins kind of need to try here. I feel like they could use the momentum, and I think they don't want to play Josh Allen and Buffalo in the playoffs. So if they have a chance to knock them out before then, I think they're going to take it. I'm going to take the Dolphins.
It's very fair. I think this easily could be the game of the week. I mean, it really should be, honestly, with all the ones going on. So it should be a fun one to watch. And we move on to the national championship on Monday night. Washington, an underdog at plus 160 versus Michigan, minus 192. Nick, wrap it up. Who you got?
Oh man, I'm gonna stick with my offensive ways. I'm gonna go Huskies.
Nick being offensively offensive.
Nick being offensive.
Joe, who you got?
Well, I picked them and they won the first time, so let's go Washington.
Did you really pick them? I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm gonna continue my trend about being wrong about Michigan, and I'm gonna pick them to win.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you.
So, we'll see how that all plays out as we head into next week's, next week's pick'em and the championships and the NFL playoffs. 1 week away, guys.
Woo, can't wait.
Let's go.
That's gonna be fun. Oh man, I love football playoffs. I love football though.
Yeah.
I love sports. Sports are fun.
Sports.
Me too.
Sports are great.
That's crazy. You know what, guys? Since we all love sports so much,
talk about it.
We should do a podcast.
For the ever obvious Joe Goodwin and the DJ of the month, Colin Zanker, I'm Nick Archuleta. This is the Undrafted Uncensored. Thank you, Michael Spillion, and everybody over at E5280sports.com. Head over there and check out some other awesome shows as well. Thank you for supporting us. Love you long time. Until next time. Goodbye.
See you guys.
You look like you could use a pork bun.
Bad buns.